but there's a lot of great stuff in here. So we hope you sit back and enjoy the video, and I'm going to let you watch it now. Have fun. Oh, and by the way, don't forget, like, share, subscribe to this stuff. If you like it, pass it along. Let the family grow. Help the family to grow. In today's video, Batman, Batman. This is what we're gonna make.
See how well I can do this.
Okay, so what are you doing now?
Alright, right now we're gonna make a stencil for old Batman here. Since I've already got one made, instead of having to print off, copy, and all that, I'm just gonna trace this one here, and we'll cut it out, just put it on a piece of styrofoam, and then we'll see what we can make happen from there.
This is all the stuff that you're very proud of, I take it, up here on the wall.
Stuff I'm proud of, stuff I do like, experiments, you know, adventures, what have you. That's just something to see if I can do it. Just like with all of this, I didn't know I could do it until I tried. And, well, I'm still trying and I'm still making.
Hoorah! What is this? Well, this is a bunch of PVC pipe, a wire.
Here, I found an old pair of electric clippers that didn't work anymore. I cut the wire off. And so inside I actually have wire run up to this top eye hook. I've got a spring there and a piece of stainless steel wire I pulled off of winch cable and just tied it on there. There's one on the bottom and got pieces of PVC, stuck it together, drilled a hole mount, and it actually swivels, but being as it was my first thing building like that, it's not perfect. It could use improvements. If anybody would like to try to recreate it, by all means, check out the King of Random. Check out his page. Look for the styro cutter. You'll find. Now, the cool thing about this cutter, being able to adjust it to whatever temperature you want, it can actually cut through the paper if you want it to, but it'll be too hot for the styrofoam and it actually burns out, blows out, and just looks all deformed. So you actually have to play with it a little bit to get it right for what you're doing. If you get it too hot, you can go faster, but you get a bigger melted out area. You want to have something that's at least a little defined. It may take a little bit slower, but you're not burning out a lot of excess. You'll be a cleaner shape once you finish. So, do the paper to this. It's acting as a stencil. So all you gotta do is lightly keep that wire riding up against the edge of the paper, and it'll come out exactly how you cut it out of the paper. You may have to go back after you get it completely cut out and just go up along the edge and straighten it out, smooth it out a little bit, which is absolutely fine. Better to take too little than too much and wind up with something that you can't use.
Really?
Because with the planer you can get this cut out exactly how this looks. So the texture, the stripes, where you can see where it's been cut, you will see all that as soon as I cast it. There's a mess up, but you can see it's still kind of, there's some pock mark, there's what it'll look like. You can kind of see some dips in there. So, the more efficient you can be with cutting the shapes out, the less work you'll be doing once you get it cast and you're trying to smooth it out, polish it.
So it's like everything else we do. The more time you take and do it, and the better you do your prep, the better it comes out. That's something that goes through all crafts.
still, you have little mistakes while doing this. The great thing about it, it's metal. The grinder and a Dremel will fix it, or a file. And if all else fails and you're just embarrassed about entirely what you're doing, you can remelt it. So no one will ever know that you messed up if you do it right. Just go back around, try and clean up a little bit.
So now you're using the heat of the blade to kind of smooth it down then.
Yeah, any places I may have gotten a little bit irregular or a little bit off the line, this here is just going to smooth them up a little bit. A little bit more sharper, cleaner.
So these are what I have learned to call the sprues, right?
Yeah, I'm not even sure of all the technical terms. I just know what I got to do to make it work. Again, a lot of trial and error, what you want to do, and learning the right amount of screws and placements. First time doing one of these bat symbols, I only put 2 in there thinking it would go all the way around. Well, Batman's missing his head. So everything you do, you gotta learn a little bit different. This here actually had 3 of them, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here, just so that way it all got filled out. The same with the Triforce, had 1 to each side. And these I actually made a 2-foot piece to go to both sides there to make sure it filled out the sides. I think I had 1 of them. But it's just, when you want to make sure that your metal flows and fills out everything, it's it can definitely be trial and error.
No, Batman before. This is what it all. So that right there is going to go into that. Whoops. Going to go into that.
Alright, so what I got here is my torch set up for the foundry. This is just a metal 5-gallon bucket I picked up that was given to me. Put some ceramic air wool in there. And then my crucible is just a 6-inch pipe, 1/4 inch thick with a 1/4 inch plate welded on the bottom. The washer welded there. Little piece of metal rod with the washer caps. So
What does the washer do?
it just holds it on there. I've got a hanger. Yeah, so
That's clever. That's clever. There we go. You're muffin rich.
Yeah.
No, Batman. So what does the water do?
It helps hold it together. But yeah, since this is using clay sand and the clay, the water.
So what type of clay is it?
It's bentonite clay. If you want to find it anywhere you want to find it, just go to dollar store, go to Walmart, go wherever. Look for the cheapest cat litter you can find. It's clay cat litter. If you look at it, it'll actually say bentonite clay. Just get it, take it home, find a grinder you don't mind messing up, and start making it into a powder. Kind of fluffy. You want to get it to where it'll hold a shape when you squeeze it. A little more water. About better. You want it to be fluffy, but also compact and keep that shape. Just squeeze it like that. You can actually see the grooves and lines by hand.
Mm-hmm.
So
You would actually have the styrofoam to hold the shape, but the styrofoam still melts away, so you leave the cap, and that's what melts.
So that there skillet, that there pot is your mold.
essentially, it's just going to hold my sand. And what I've found, again, most of this I've found out through trial and error, is doing it with this method. Let's get put a little bit in the bottom and then pack it down, get it solid. That way, it's not going to go nowhere, and it will help support your mold.
I would imagine that once when you start pouring in the hot metal, if it's not packed, that once when that heat from the metal starts to really make the moisture leave it, it would make that sand a lot looser.
It makes a bubble. You can actually see the sand.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah,
a
if the sand is dry, it'll actually, you'll get your metal going down inside, and then it'll bubble back up because the sand is not holding together.
so the metal literally displaces the sand.
I've had a lot of times where I had to dance around molten metal flowing around my feet because not knowing what was going on. Again, trial and error, having to pick up a little bit of aluminum that's falling on gravel or rock. May not be the funnest thing, but you'll come up with some cool designs and little neat things. I'll take Batman here. I packed it down and I put a loose layer in there to help support it. We're just going to kind of tap it in. Hopefully it just kind of stays still.
But it's not loose like everybody else out there is thinking of loose. It's still packed.
Yeah.
But it's packed just tight enough.
It's fine stiff. And with this, you just want to kind of let it go in around. You don't want to force it in too much. And reusing it, you'll find bits of aluminum and whatever material throughout your sand. After I get that.
So this material you can use over and over and over again.
This has no shelf life. The only thing that you may have to ever do to it is add water. Unless you're like me, drop it, spill it, whatever. Then eventually you'll have to make more, but it never actually goes bad. It's just, it keeps going and going. And now I got a little bit over top of my styrofoam mold there. Just want to lightly pack it down. That way it starts holding it.
It's getting. Yep, there it is. It's a melting.
Pack the sand tight. Right around that, so that way hopefully none of it falls down in my floor. I'm not sure what to call it. I just call it the clamp. It opens up. I was watching a video where they were making castings, and the guy that was talking about it said that he had some trouble getting it to fully fill out. So he come up with using a piece of pipe on top. You'll set it right there, and you'll fill up that so much so that way you're causing a positive pressure, so that way the metal will actually
Drop
down and fill into all of the little nooks and crannies. So that way you don't wind up with partial fill, kind of like the Batman we saw a little bit ago. You can see that the impurities are on top where it's a little bit of dull, but as it melts, you'll see where stir it, it's real shiny.
Yeah.
That's your clean aluminum. Because when you go to scrape off your dross, you want it to look like a mirror, like you're looking right down in a mirror. All right, so the first can in, this is one of my favorite parts to watch.
Yep, there it goes.
It's already.
I got the pokey stick. I got the pokey stick of power, he said.
Pokey poke poke. Let's do another one. Pokey poke poke. We almost make some music with that.
Just watch the flamage.
We'll go ahead and we'll start off with this first. I generally try not to pour it straight on the styrofoam, which I just did. And then fill it up a couple inches. That creates a nice positive pressure to hopefully fill out the mold, get all the styrofoam burn out, and we'll have something decent. Since I packed in the sand real hard around it, we got a nice hard cast for holding all of that together. It's looking really good so far.
I was about to say, it's looking superb.
Yeah, sometimes you can, again, how I said earlier about taking a little bit extra time with the styrofoam, you can really get some nice results and it'll cut down on your finish time.
Absolutely. Blacksmiths have a very similar saying. They say 15 minutes with a hammer is worth 15 minutes extra with the hammer is worth 2 hours at the grinder.
Oh yeah. Try to get much of that sand off because I don't want to waste it.
So that, after a lot of work, is going to turn into that.
Yep.
So how are you going to get that into that?
Well, first things first. You can use a bandsaw if you got a metal blade. I use just a sawzall, cut that off, and then start hitting it with the grinder.
We used files to start.
Yeah.
Before we got actual tools.
I prefer to use flap discs for a grinder. You get more of a longevity out of them. You can get them from 60 to 80 grits, and they last for a good while, and it'll help you get all this kind of roughed in, because you've got high spots on the edges where the styrofoam kind of bubbled out. You can come around this and get that all smoothed out so it's not all bumpy and crazy looking. And then once you get it roughed in with that, you can come in. Small angle die grinder works wonderful for it if you've got a couple different attachments. I go from the 80 grit flat disc to, I'll bump up to 120 disc of grit with a Dremel, and I've got, I use die grinder pads and adapt them to use on a Dremel. I'll go over them and work up to 220, and then I've got scuff pad or 400 for a DA that I'll mount the DA and actually set them down and
What's that?
dual action sander.
Ah, like a palm sander.
Yes.
Okay.
I took collision repair. We called them DAs.
Because it's not just the orbital where it spins, it also has the dual action where it actually shakes too. That's what it looks
Ah,
Yeah.
I was about to say, you started getting in some technical talk there, and it's like when I get lost, I have to ask, and I got lost.
It just come from working and learning in a collision repair field, a dual action sander. I got 3, 4, and I think 600 grit sandpaper on that. And then I'll come back after and use a fine grit scuff pad. And that'll get it down kind of where this is. And then you can get even finer grits and then go for your polishing compounds and polish it out. The main thing is when you're wanting to get a good mirror finish, it is kind of hard. I mean, making sure you get it flat.
I was about to say, that's beautiful.
Getting it flat is going to be your hardest, and you can even still see there's some pock marks. You can still tell that there's a little bit of scratching in the metal. And as long as you can get those scratch marks and those little pocks as small and as fine as possible, once you start polishing it, the polish actually heats up the metal and it'll smear the metal around and it'll smooth all those tiny sandpaper scratches, all those scratches out, and you'll wind up with a nice smooth polish.
Batman. Beautiful polish.